Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, X, YouTube. Hopefully today you are at home, in your car, at work, getting ready to hit camp this morning all across the continent. Teams are fired up. So we'll jump right into what made me angry yesterday. Dealt with a parent. I was not their advisor last year. Somebody else was. So if I was the king of hockey, and I'm not, let me see what he say this. I would stop prep school cash grab practice of repeating grades. Here's what's going on. It was a big, can't really call it a scam, a practice where these prep schools would go out, identify well-to-do families that can afford the very outrageous price tag and convince their high school freshman, sophomore, hey, you're really good. We want you to come to our prep school, but we only want you if you will go back a year and redo your sophomore year. So you would have, 3 full years here instead of just 2. Parents think, well, it's a really good program. It's a really good school. Yes, it's expensive, but they have a great reputation. Yeah, I'll sign up for this. At a school that cost $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year and more, of course they want you to come back for an extra year. Why would they not? Why get 4 years of school paid for where you can get 5? And essentially that's what they've done. The prices are so outrageous to go there, but it's a prestigious prep school. But here's the rub. And there's always a rub, right? The rub is this. That player is losing out on a very valuable year of eligibility at the junior level. Prep school doesn't care. They want to have the advantage of older kids on the ice to beat up on the younger kids later on. That's the game plan. And eventually possibly get a kickback to push those kids up the ladder of development for their last year, sometimes 2, of junior hockey. Ultimately, that's not going to be enough, especially if they're starting out at the pay-to-play Tier 3 level. And that last year, you're really going to need to have a year and a half to 2 years of playing in the BCHL, the USHL, or the NAHL to be a serious contender to play NCAA Division I hockey. So the reality is the bulk of those kids showing out that much money are going to go D3 if they're lucky. Some are legacy guys that end up on some of those big Ivy League, East Coast, New England schools that are, way more than $70,000 a year. We call those the payers, the full payers. They're going to be on the roster. They seldom get any game experience, any possible playing time, but they're there to fill a role and to pay for some of the other kids. That's what happens. It's not the greatest way to go if you want to be a serious prospect for college hockey. So I'll give you an example of 2 kids from New Jersey. Both are 2005s, both in the same position, both relatively the same size, and as 16-year-olds, they were fairly equal in the talent area, what they brought to the table. It's okay. One kid chose prep school, $70,000 a year. Played 2 years. He repeated his junior year, went there that year, then he's there for his senior year. The other kid played, I believe, in the EHL or the USPHL Premier when he was 17, 18. He went to Saskatchewan. Didn't cost him anything to play there. And now he's prime candidate, made the training camp roster of North American Hockey League team. Looks pretty good. Has a really good opportunity for this year. Still has one more year of eligibility remaining. His counterpart, the kid who went to prep school route for 2 years, spent half the summer, all the summer, going to 13 different North American Hockey League and NCDC camps. 13. Chowder Cup. Got to do that if you're a East Coast guy. And what's he going to do for this year? Well, his coach from the prep school got him a really good opportunity to play in a top team for one of those Eastern Hockey League clubs. Really? That's where he's at? He's basically at the same place like the other kid was 2 years ago for $140,000? That last extra year at $70,000 easily could have paid for 2 years of college at most schools, most public schools anyway. And maybe if you go to one of those prep school, private school, super elite programs, you're probably not going to want to go to a public school anyway. So was it money well spent? Depends on the family. Maybe the kid needed a babysitter the whole time. It wasn't trusted to be out playing junior hockey somewhere. Different kids are at different levels of maturation. I don't know. But I do know this. Considering what's happening with the Canadian Hockey League and the very high likelihood that we're going to hear that these kids, all from the CHL, are going to be NCAA eligible probably for next season, where are these kids going to go? If they don't have that game experience, at least probably with that in mind, probably at the USHL or BCHL level, a couple of kids from the NA will still get D1 opportunities. But the bottom line is, a lot of those opportunities that these prep school kids were getting will be going to kids from the Canadian Hockey League. So why are we spending this much money? Now, again, if your family can afford it, and it's like buying a Diet Coke for me, fine. But let's face reality. It's not about being a hockey prospect. It's not about developing a hockey player. It's about developing prep school wallets and catching that bottom line, adding that extra $70,000 or $50,000 to the budget for the year. That's what it's really about. Don't get fooled that they really want you as a player. They really want your parents' money. Don't get caught in that trap. Let's have a conversation before signing any of that baloney. Don't let your parents go into a situation like that because, this happened 20 years ago and now is a good way for this NHL player to go. The game has evolved in the last 20 years. Hell, it's evolved in the last 20 months. Don't miss the boat. Give me a call. That's it for today. Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee. I'm having iced tea. And have a great day at hockey.